Everywhere you look, there is a sign in Hungarian. I'm a Ukrainian and I live here. I want to know what's written there. Maybe it says something that attacks me or my nation or my country. It might be propaganda against the state. And you see it all over Berehove. The Russians took away all the land that we gave them. We gave them too much, and the result was war. You Hungarians are putting pressure on us. You are doing the same thing. So now we are telling you, we won't give you anything. We will make no concessions. This is our land, and we make the laws. You want to live according to our laws? Go ahead. You don't want to? Then go live in Hungary. Thus said the leader of the extremists, who a few years ago set fire to the Millennium Memorial in Veretske and was never convicted. I really hope that the cameras were working and those people who were disturbing the peace will be prosecuted and punished. I was planning to go out for a walk with my child, but I saw the live broadcast on the internet and we were afraid to go out. The statue of Sándor Petőfi in Užhorod was vandalized once again. Unknown perpetrators dressed the statue of the revolutionary poet in a dirty sweater. The life of a minority in the shadow of terror attacks. Anti-Hungarianism reaches an unprecedented level. For the first time in the region's history, a deliberate bombing is carried out against the organization that represents the Hungarian minority. February the 4th, 2018. Unknown perpetrators toss a bottle containing a flammable liquid onto the headquarters of the Cultural Alliance of Hungarians in Subcarpathia in central Užhorod. February the 27th. Unknown perpetrators blow up the building of Cultural Alliance of Hungarians in Subcarpathia in Užhorod. The entire ground floor premises are destroyed. At 2 minutes before 2 o'clock, my phone rang. The one that is attached to the alarm system. So that's how I found out. By the time I called my colleague, she was already calling me. And then we alerted our vice president, who told us to call the police. And then everything happened very quickly. This was a terrorist attack, no question. It seemed clear that it was a bomb. If anyone had been in the building, their life would have been in danger. The building was destroyed. No matter who actually carried it out, in my opinion, the responsibility lies with the intense anti-Hungarian campaign by extremist organizations that has been ongoing in the Ukrainian media for over a year. The campaign paints a negative picture of the Hungarian minority and make people hysterical. The other reason this could happen is that similar actions have occurred many times before, yet no one is ever prosecuted. So they think they can get away with it. Their goal is clear: to intimidate the Hungarians of Subcarpathia and to stir up antagonism between the nationalities who live here. March the 1st. The Ukrainian parliament declares that the law guaranteeing language rights for national minorities is unconstitutional. Sergei Knyazyev, head of the Ukrainian National Police, announces the arrest of 3 individuals suspected of involvement in the February the 27th bombing attack on the Hungarian Alliance headquarters in Užhorod. March the 5th. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin states, anyone who insists that anti-Hungarianism or even an anti-Hungarian campaign is underway in Ukraine should take his complaints to Moscow, to the Kremlin, to the security forces of the Russian Federation. At this time, 29 individuals traveling from Lviv to Subcarpathia, armed with baseball bats, box cutters and knives, were arrested by Ukrainian security forces at the county border town of Nizhny Voroda. On the night of March the 15th, in Berehove, unknown perpetrators smashed the windshields of 8 cars and 1 van having Hungarian license plates. Other cars, parked in the same lot, with Ukrainian, Czech and German plates were untouched. April the 5th. Viktor Baloga, leader of the political party Yedini Center, submitted a parliamentary bill that would prohibit the use of any national flag except the Ukrainian on state and local government offices. June the 5th. The Ukrainian Security Service filed criminal charges of separatism against the Egan Ede Economic Development Center of Subcarpathia. The court has summoned our foundation to appear in court at proceedings carried out by the Ukrainian Security Service. They accuse our foundation of being separatist and that the grants we give out threaten Ukraine's territorial integrity. June the 6th. The local chapter of the organization Svoboda demonstrated at the Ministry of Education in Kiev. Their protest? The government is ignoring the Hungarian separatist threat in Subcarpathia. June the 22nd. The Egan Ede Memorial Park near Uzhhorod was vandalized. A memorial stone painted in the colors of the Hungarian flag was spray painted. June the 27th. A stone cross on a hill in Berehove was vandalized. The perpetrators painted it in the colors of red and black, adding the following slogan: "Glory to Ukraine! Glory to the heroes!" August the 8th. The memorial stone, the Egan Ede Memorial Park, was again vandalized, just a month after it was restored following the previous attack. The stone, painted in the colors of the Hungarian flag, was now painted in red and black. August the 29th. Perpetrators broke into the Roman Catholic Church of St. Stephen in Oknoslatina and vandalized its Hungarian flag. September the 18th. On this date, Ukrainian border officials at the Hungarian border began ongoing harassment of prominent ethnic Hungarians, association leaders, local public officials and journalists who are detained and subjected to extensive searches for hours on end with no explanation given or reports filed. The border guard checked my passport and then confiscated it and told me to pull over. He insisted on searching my car, even though he had no warrant and provided no documentation. Even though I demanded a copy of a report, demanded a reason for pulling me over, he said nothing. After more than an hour of this, they alerted the National Security Office in Berehove, who sent out an officer, and once he arrived, 5 more border agents searched my car 4 more times. When I asked what they were looking for, what am I charged with, they gave no explanation, and after holding me up for 8.5 hours, they let me go. This was about 10 minutes after midnight. September the 19th. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin said he would not rule out the expulsion of the Hungarian consul from Ukraine. This after a hidden camera recorded a ceremony at the consulate in Berehove, in which Ukrainian citizens, who are obtaining Hungarian citizenship, recite the oath of allegiance. September the 21st. In an interview with the Ukrainian press, Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin accuses the Hungarian community of Subcarpathia of fueling separatism in the region. He insinuated that the Hungarians of Subcarpathia are a source of separatist threat that is aided by alleged Russian influence, in the context of the hybrid war being waged against Ukraine. September the 22nd. The Ukrainian nationalist website, Mirotvorets, which means peacemaker, published a database of names and addresses of individuals in Subcarpathia who allegedly have Hungarian citizenship. September 24th. The Berehove chapter of the organization Svoboda organized a demonstration at the local consulate of Hungary. Its declared purpose? To alert the Ukrainian government to what they consider to be Hungary's anti-Ukrainian policies. September 26th. The extremist Ukrainian nationalist organization, National Force, demonstrated at the Foreign Ministry in Kiev, demanding the expulsion of the Hungarian consul in Berehove. September 29th. The Ukrainian nationalist website, Mirotvorets, added the name of Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Siato, to its public database, claiming that Siato accused Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko of oppressing the Hungarians of Ukraine. October the 2nd. Budapest must recall its consul from Berehove, otherwise Ukraine will expel him, declared Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin. October the 4th. Ukraine has declared Hungary's consul in Berehove to be persona non grata, according to the official website of the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry. October the 9th. Yaroslav Halas, Vice President for Human Resources of the government administration in Subcarpathia, declared that officials would investigate several hundred individuals, including public officials and county representatives, based on the list of more than 300 persons deemed to have Hungarian citizenship, as published on the Ukrainian website, Mirotvorets. October the 10th. Hungary's Foreign Ministry summoned the Ukrainian ambassador due to Ukraine's escalating anti-Hungarian policies. The same day, Ukrainian parliamentary representative Viktor Baloga declared, Ukraine should adopt a policy of relocating citizens to Berehove in order to eradicate its ethnic Hungarian character. October the 12th. The website of the Ukrainian parliament published an appeal for signatures in favor of deporting ethnic Hungarians from Subcarpathia. October the 13th. Irina Farion, a Ukrainian linguist, political and social activist, referred to the Hungarians of Subcarpathia as imbeciles and compares them to dogs. According to the Ukrainian nationalist, Ms. Farion, the Hungarians of Subcarpathia have no place in Ukraine. Think about it. If you send a dog to be trained, you get it back a month later and it knows the commands. Sit, heel, down. But these people need 7 years to learn the language of Stepan Bandera, Taras Shevchenko, Lena Kostenko. Do we need all these imbeciles in Ukraine? They should take those passports they get from Hungary and move there. Where's the problem? Why should I have to feed them here? Why should I pay money for them to study in Hungarian or Romanian or Russian? And excuse me, in Polish? October the 20th. Stop the separatists. Billboards bearing the slogan and the names and photographs of the leaders of the Hungarian community appear along the main roads near the towns of Uzhhorod, Mukachevo and Berehove. During November and December of 2018, a further 3 anti-Hungarian acts were monitored. Each of them may be considered as rough ones. 15th November 2018, Ildikó Orosz, rector of the Hungarian Institute of Subcarpathia, was interrogated by the Security Service of Ukraine as to her speech during the central commemoration event at the House of Terrors Museum in Budapest on the 23rd of October. 22nd of November 2018. Mysterious billboards appear in Subcarpathia with the text, "Let's overcome fascism together," displaying photos of Miss Ildikó Orosz, Hungarian Institute of Subcarpathia, and Mr. Hennedy Moskal, Governor of Subcarpathia. 26th of November 2018. News website Mukachevo.net, referring to unofficial information, published an article about a criminal procedure against Ms. Ildikó Orosz, Hungarian Institute of Subcarpathia, member of the County Council. According to the information published on the website, Ms. Ildikó Orosz is charged under Clause 1 of Article 161 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine. Discrimination based upon race, ethnic origin, religion, deficiency, and other characteristics. In addition to these incidents, Ukrainian legal measures continued in 2018, which drastically limited the existing rights of national minorities. There is still no agreement on the provisions of the education law that pertain to minorities which, if implemented, would violate Ukraine's international commitments and dismantle the current system of native language education for minorities. Citing formal impediments, the Ukrainian Constitutional Court declared that the 2012 legal regulation on the use of native languages is no longer in effect. This court decision is a significant step backwards for minority language rights. Another cause of concern. The Ukrainian High Council is now considering proposed laws that would further limit or eliminate national minority rights.